kidding.
From every strand on the line of your reel, to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook, let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Anglers Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everybody. I'm John.
How y'all are? Cajun Rob here hanging out with you.
What a fine day. Hope everybody had a good time, went out and did their part and voted today. So, Rob and I, we try to avoid conflict and all that stuff on our podcast. But tonight, since it's election day, we figure we might get into a couple controversial topics.
Yeah. Or see where everybody stands at. Just kind of get a feel.
Exactly. So I guess we're going to start out talking about the BASS side of things. The major rule there affects probably maybe 1/8% of our watchers, if any. BASS came out last week with a rule that said there's no entry fees in 2025. I have an opinion on it. I'm sure Rob does. So, and if anyone else has an opinion, type in, give us your thoughts. Let us know where you're from. We like to find out, and we'll go from there. So what do you think about the, or what have you heard? What do you think about the no entry fee, Rob?
Well, we was talking before the show. It's pretty interesting because Clark Wendell has announced his retirement.
Oh, I forgot about
that. Yeah. So that just happened today. So I think that's going to be one of a few that's going to do that. Which Clark's had his Angler of the Year. He's kind of been around for a long time, and hey, hats off to him. He enjoys still being fishing. So, but yeah, I mean, I think it goes. In my opinion, it goes one step in the right way and then 2 steps back. So I know they should have I know they had some meetings with the lead anglers and they didn't really discuss it or get their opinion on it, which I kind of wish they did. But the entry fees being free, yeah, that's a step in the right direction. But the payouts, kind of way they did it, is kind of 2 steps back. So
yeah,
I'm kind of divided. Yeah, it's a good thing and it's not a good thing. So
yeah,
but I'm going to give it time, give it a year, see how it goes, and kind of get a feel from there. Well, I said, it's kind of concerning because I know we had a few elite anglers last year kind of drop out, 2 or 3 dropped out because of financial reasons or couldn't get sponsors. So, I mean, it takes a lot of money to drive across country. Hey, we know just a little bit we do. It's not a cheap sport. So,
no,
it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, I think they're trying. At least they're trying, but I don't know. Maybe could have did a better way. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna give it a year. But that's kind of my initial thoughts on it.
Yeah. Now with me, I have really no skin in the game.
Yep.
So it's not affecting me or my pocketbook or my family. So, my points aren't valid. So what we're talking about now is the elites not having a for you guys just coming on, the elites not having entry fee this year. I feel like if you're in the upper echelon of the fishermen, you're not going to like it. But if you're towards the bottom, you are, because you're getting a $45,000 pay raise.
Yeah, and then most of the guys in top 10, top 20 have sponsors paying them anyway, and usually have them pay their entry fees. So, yeah, I think the middle of the field is kind of where it's going to hurt the most. I said the top 10 or 20% is going to be okay. The bottom 10 or 20% running on their own dime. But the guys in the middle, it's going to be tough.
Now, I had some doctor's appointments today. So in between the appointments, I was thinking about this. I'm like, you know what? What about this scenario? You pay your entry fee up front, right? Like they do.
Yep.
And you get prorated. If you finish in the top 10%, you get 90% back. If you finish in the bottom 10, you get 10% back. You're not covering all your money, but yet it's keeping it fair and it's keeping the entry fees or the payout you keep close.
Yeah, and it's kind of performance based. Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
You know.
Yep. And then one other thing you notice, I don't know if you noticed, but our old buddy Luke Schrader and his side pot is in the elites now.
Yes.
I thought that was a good move on his part. I think that's perfect timing, and I think that's a great thing. And hats out to Luke. I mean, he's had a lot of success in the Toyotas and BFLs and Open, so I think that's going to be a good thing for him. And hats off to him.
Yeah, and I think if any of the elites are wise, they'll hop into that. What is it? 500
Oh, absolutely.
Bucks?
I think so.
You said it, $500. Hey, take back 18 grand over $500. That's better than winning a tournament.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's going to take. Yeah, I mean that's. Hey, I know, man. It pays off. I mean, you don't have to wait to end the season. I mean, right after the event, checks going out to your house. I can vouch for that.
Yep. That's a shame.
Yeah, but I think it's good timing. I think Luke was going to do it anyway, and I think this really was perfect timing for him. So I think it's going to do really well.
So that's the big one on the elites. But initially, they started out with the topic of the forward-facing sonar, and what they did there, only allowing one transducer, which I think is fair.
Yeah.
I don't think you need 35 transducers on it. Sorry for all the electronic salesmen, but one transducer, that's all you need.
Well, even your buddy from K&K kind of hinted that when we had him on, and he was okay with it.
That's what he said.
Yeah. So I mean, experiences he deals with it every day.
Hey, James.
There's our old buddy. Hey, James. Glad to see you, buddy. Hey, glad to see you, James. I know you're still in our thoughts and prayers, brother. I hope you're out there wetting the line for sure.
Yes, sir. Just take it easy now. But the one part of that rule, the BAS, that intrigued me was the height in the cockpit.
Yep.
Now, if I'm 5'6", okay, well, I am 5'6", and I know legally where their graphs are.
Yep.
What is it? 26 inches above or whatever. I won't be able to see. But someone who's 6'5", 6'6", it's not an issue for them.
Yep. Funny you say that. I was at we had a local. My work had a big tournament on Cherokee, and I'm not gonna mention any names, but it had a lead angler, and he was like, "I'm about average height, 5'10", 5'9".
Right.
This young guy was like a foot shorter than I am, and he has the big graphs. I'm sitting here going, how do you see above all that? Or you got a little gap there? I mean, but I mean, good, great young kid. I mean, he actually won the tournament, but anyway.
Yeah. But then they threw in limited of 55 inches.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
I think it's a good compromise on their part. Hey, James, got a quick thing.
Yep. Wrapping up practice at Toyota, fishing for his son Clark for this one, guys.
Hey, hats off to you, James. Tight lines of good luck to you, man. We'll be I'll try to catch you on the way in, but it's a good lake. I fished it on a BFL regional or a wild card a few years back, but it's a good lake. It's got a lot of places to fish. So, but I do know some good places to eat over there too, if you need to. So, but yeah, it is a nice lake.
Yeah. Where's he at?
Wheeler Lake. Wheeler Lake, North Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the TVA chain, but it's a good lake. It's a good lake.
Has to be better than Gunnersville.
Possibly. It does have spotted bass, I know. So.
Okay. Never caught one of those.
Yeah, they're kind of between a largemouth and a smallmouth. They fight like a smallmouth and a little more hardy than a largemouth. So they're pretty. It's got like a gold. They almost got a gold tint to them.
Yeah.
But, they're pretty cool.
Yeah. So, what do you think with the 55-inch screen limit? Do you think there's going to be bigger graph up front and smaller in the cockpit?
I think so.
You get that 22-inch up front.
Well, you've seen, I know they got some mounts from Japan now that goes on front of your boat, and you can like pull it up You can
Yes.
actually, it's like extendable. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot more of that with the smaller screens. So that's going to be interesting. But I know a lot of guys are with forward facing. The fish are kind of getting used to it, so they're trying some different technique, like top water. I even heard, Josh was referring to some guys are using the glide baits. So I think there's going to be some young guys going to come up with something new and just tweak it just a little bit and have a lot of success. So,
Yeah.
but I think they'll get creative and not saying they'll violate the rules, but there'll be a little bit of gray area like the mounts. They can bring it up and down, which I mean it's fine. I mean you lower it when you're about to run. So
Yeah. Sad thing is they're not going to be able to do that in New York this year.
yep.
Well, they're not in New York.
Ah, got you.
Now,
Not in Alabama either. I don't think they're in Alabama either.
I'm not sure. I the one I didn't understand is only one electric motor. How many?
Well, they're talking about the power poles. Like you put the little propellers on the power pole. Yeah. I saw Matt Becker when I was at Dale Hollow. He won the BFL I was fishing, and he come by us in the creek, and he had his power poles like halfway down, and he's in the middle of the channel, and I'm like, huh? And he had those little pair. It kind of slows it down, almost. So that's what that's talking about. They don't want the propellers or the stuff on the power poles. So I guess that's okay. But
yeah, those paddles are nice up here.
Oh yeah,
it's not a motor.
No, it's the I know the big parachute looking things. I can't think of the name on top of my head. Yeah.
But anyways,
drift socks.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for bass. I mean, I think they did a pretty good job of the rules. I think the one thing they need to do is refine the entry fee situation. I think if they cut the entry fee in half, anglers would love it. Drop it down to 2,500.
Yeah, there's got to be kind of a median there. I think they're going to go after this year. I think they're going to kind of reevaluate it. But talking about bass, there is one thing I give them credit: the Bass Opens, how they did the split schedule.
Yes,
the four tournaments, and you qualify to fish the last four. I think that saves guys from doing all 9 and running themselves ragged. So I do think that was, out of all the ideas, I think that was the best one they had.
That I was going to mention that next, but you're right though. It makes it a little more regional.
Yep.
Until the last 4,
Yeah. And then you don't have to throw your money at all 9 and be way out or even have a chance. So I think that's a step positive, because there were so many boats last year, so many guys, it was just so far out, didn't have a chance. So I think it was a good move on their part. I will give them credit where credit's due.
Yeah, same here. Now the biggest move of all, we're going to switch leagues here. The NPFL.
Yep.
No forward facing at all.
Yeah. And I think it kind of matches, because they kind of started out as they wanted older anglers. Their kids had left the house, or empty nesters. They want to come back and fish. So I think it gives the fans a choice, and it kind of fits their model as they started out. So I think it was a good move on their part. For the guys that don't want to watch people forward face the sonar, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but it gives them a choice. You got an option, you got a choice. So we'll see. And we know quite a few anglers that fished bass and NPFL last year, so we'll see if that's still going to cross over. So Welcher and some others.
Yep.
So we'll see how that goes.
I wonder if they're going to be nicknamed the Senior League.
Could be.
Could be. Some of the older guys that are against it,
Yep. I said they had quite a few crossovers, so we'll see if they still have the crossover this year or what's going on. But
they have a weird schedule. They got 1 or 2 tournaments that say they have one on there that says Northeast, but no lake. Nobody.
Yeah, I think they're still trying to find the right one or right opening, but I don't know.
I know one area that would love to have them come.
Yep.
St. Lawrence River, they throw money into it.
Yeah, I think they're still kind of finding that right fit or the right, say, price to bring tournament somewhere, which
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's all right. They'll get it figured out by the end of the year, I'm sure.
Yeah. New York also threw in some screwy rules that you gotta only so many boats per body of water per tournament or something like that. And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, me and you both are just way too many tournaments, and like I think Kentucky and Tennessee, the wildlife department is supposed to approve it, and they just rubber stamp everything. I mean, they'll have 3 or 4 tournaments going on the same lake. I'm like, come on, guys.
Yeah. Well, look at the high school kids, 300 and something boats in one tournament.
Other day they had one, I think in Alabama, or 451 boats. That's just split them up, day 1, day 2, and then take the top 50 or something. I mean, that's just insane.
It's not safe.
Hmm.
All right, guys. For you guys just popping on, we're talking about rule changes for the leagues, and where's everybody from? I'm in New York. Rob's in
Parts unknown, Kentucky.
Yep, and we got our traveling friend there, Joe, who he might be down chasing gators or up in Carolina trying to find some fish or something. I don't know where he is.
Jumping logs or something. I'm sure he's doing something.
Yeah. Matt, speaking of gators, did you see that our one of our past guests, Ashley Klaus?
Yeah. Had that big
gator head bat. Yep.
That was pretty impressive. That's
braver
than me. They stay over there, do their business. I stay over here, do my business. So.
Yeah, we don't find too many in New York.
Nah, I say not. Unless they bring it from Florida on a trip or something.
Yeah. So, that I think the NPFL took the strongest stance as far as the forward-facing sonar.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's a good move for them, and it's going to bring some more viewers and some more audience to their side. So, not saying it's right or wrong, but I think for them, I think it kind of made sense on how they started their league and what they wanted to do. So,
yeah,
hats off to them.
What do you do if you're an elite angler and then you fish the NPFL? Do you take the transducer off? Do they have a guard that goes over it? I wonder. I don't know.
I don't know how they're going to police that. I mean, I don't know. That's going to be a good question.
Yeah. But guess what?
What's that?
Not going to affect my paycheck.
Not me either. We'll just watch this. We'll watch and eat popcorn and see how it goes. Oh, and another thing Bass done, it must have been a few months ago, they mandated everybody takes the boater safety course, which I think's a move I think it's a good direction. I think
New York
put everybody at the same level.
New York, I believe, has done the same thing. For I know Lake Champlain, they have to have one.
Yeah, makes sense because that's.
It's funny because we've got a bunch of guides up here that are complaining they got to go take a boater safety course. It's like, you have a captain's license. Why do you need?
That might be some exceptions, but
yeah, your buddy Javon's right there saying, "Hey."
There it is. The Co-Anglers Corner sponsored angler right there.
There you go. Yeah, forgot about that.
Yep. So he's out there doing his thing. Hey, Javon, good to see you, buddy. Hope that storm goes past you. I know there's a storm brewing out there in the Gulf, but hopefully it goes on by. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. So I don't think there's anything else with the NPFL that they pretty much did.
No, I think the entry fee's the same. Payout's about the same. Like I said, we'll see how many crossover anglers compared to last year to this year. So we'll see it. See what happens. Maybe they'll have a second boat. I mean, a lot of guys have. I know back in the day they'd have a West Coast boat and East Coast boat. So could be a possibility.
Yeah. If you want an update, I clicked the wrong button, and according to my presidential election thing, it says Trump 95, Harris 35. So
yeah, I think there'll be some states that's won't be able to count them until the next week or something. So I think it's gonna be a few days to a week. Let's hope it goes a little quieter and smoother than last time. I'll just say that.
Yes. And then you got states like Florida and Louisiana who can't count past 3, so it's going to take them a little longer to.
Well, Alabama does not have early voting, so I think there'll be a day or two because everybody's got to vote today. So
Yeah. See,
You imagine how crazy that was?
Yeah. Yeah. Scott Martin has 2 boats, one to fish the opens and one to fish the elites.
Makes sense. I know. I think Wheeler had 2 boats at one time because he gets his boats up at Weeda's Marine up in towards Cincinnati. So I know he had 2 boats at one time.
I
Which,
think
with his money, he could afford it.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to say no, Jacob. You can't have 2 boats. They have to be the same boat, though.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and I think they still got a horsepower and like a minimum length. I think on most all leagues.
Yeah. All right. Well, should we jump into the fun league, or where's everybody from? Nobody's mentioned they're from.
Yep. I know my boy Javon from back home. I know where he's at.
All right. Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry, Rob.
Yep. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to kind of see how these rule changes and stuff affects the leagues next year. And I think the most positive move was the Bass Open splitting their schedule up and kind of rethinking that. So I think of all the ones we went over so far, besides the boat safety course, I think those 2 probably is the most positive. I think, but we'll see.
Yeah. I'm shocked that they did that, knowing that the BPT guys aren't very happy.
Yep.
With some things that are going on there. I mean, they could have definitely kept the same nine tournament schedule, and I'm sure they'd have probably had close to 200 boats again for every tournament for the EQs.
Yep.
But oh well. I mean, I like this a little bit better. I think Bass actually listened to the fans this time, and they took the regional aspect out of it for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, now they brought it back in, which I think is nice.
Yeah, I think they thought that out pretty good. Yeah, Javon, I know you in God's country, brother.
Yep. South Mississippi.
Yep, I do miss the fresh seafood, man, which I'll be down there in a couple weeks, so be all good.
I'll send you my address.
Only if you send me some cookies, then we could do a trade.
All right.
But I can't guarantee the freshness of the seafood time it gets to you.
Hey, I better not do that because I don't need to miss any more work.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But then in kind of a side note, we had GSM's been buying up a bunch of smaller companies. RoboWorm was kind of surprising a few weeks ago. They just announced yesterday they bought out Northland.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But it's kind of a plus and a minus. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, that's like Bass Pro buying Cabela's.
Yeah, it kind of muddies the water. I mean, seemed like on the plus side, you get easier access and it's easier to get. Prices usually go down a little bit. But on the minus side, it seems like they cut the SKUs down and the colors. So it's kind of plus, minus. I don't know. It's kind of surprising, I guess, but I guess it's been in the works for a while. But
yeah,
there seem like there's going to be 3 or 4 big companies owning all the companies for long. Seems like.
Hey, Bass Pro owns what, 6 or 7 different boat brands?
Yep. And I heard some rumblings that that's about to cut down some more. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I got a source from inside, so let's just put it that way.
Yeah. All right, and over to the most interesting league, the MLF side.
Yep.
They've made some changes.
It's fuzzed out. Oh well.
They've made some changes.
Yep.
I think personally the strangest rule of all with the forward-facing sonar is 1 period.
Yeah, and then they got a call ahead, I guess, first today if they're going to use it first, second, or third. And they say on the screen they're going to have a little red dot or something when they have the forward facing on. I think
Okay.
that's what they said. So yeah, whatever period they're, if you're in third period and they show the guy angler and they have a red dot or red light, then it shows he's on forward face or not. So they don't have to announce it. So I guess that a little bit of a time saver, and it helps the guys at home kind of follow. But that's going to put a new strategy on things. I think we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I just don't know how they're going to police it though.
Yeah, that's going to
I
be.
mean, yeah, they do have officials there in the boat with them, but the officials weren't counting fairly when some people were foul hooking fish.
Yeah, I think they said. I think they're going to come out with a chip that has like a. I don't know. That's what I heard. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be a Frito-Lay's chip. Yeah.
Could be.
Our boy Javon's going to be doing the ABA team series.
Heard that's a good series. That's and got a good comment on there.
Yeah, it'll definitely make them plan more precisely.
Yeah, and I think that's good. It gives them a choice. So there'll be some guys early in the day, late in the day, middle of the day. So we'll see it kind of play to their strengths. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, water is definitely going to play a big factor into that. Water temperature but they can use it. Can they use it the entire practice period?
I think that's right. I think that's correct. I
Yeah.
think that's what I heard.
So it really doesn't matter. They're going to get their waypoints and be able to do that.
Yeah,
So
and
really,
they kind of they'll most of them aisle around and look to bait balls and kind of get a feel. So yes and no on that one. I'll give that a kind of wait and see.
yeah, never know. Could be good, could be bad. Who knows? Okay. Now the the invitationals.
Yep.
They're allowing it on one day, on alternating days. I mean,
Yeah. I'm like you. How are they going to police that?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
You can use it on day one in the championship. You can't use it on day two.
I guess that they're trying to get the most versatile anglers to the cut day. I think. I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see.
Yeah. And MLF circuits are allowed or restricted to 2 facing 360-degree sonar transducers.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. I think they're going to tweak that a little bit more.
Yeah, you know the Boyd Professional Series. They kind of make it up as they go. You like that?
I do like that.
That was off the cuff. Have they come out with a list of I just had another one come to mind. The Boyd Puppet Series.
Oh boy.
Anyways.
Well, at least it ain't fish. At least it ain't fishing boat dogs. Well, I'll digress.
There we go. I'm gonna get us banned from everything.
Oh, it'd be all right. But they did come out with the BPT roster, but it didn't really show who dropped or whatever. But it was pretty interesting going through the list. There's a few new faces.
Yeah, good. Okay, what else? There really isn't any changes for what do you call it? The Toyota series. The big question going into everything was about co-anglers. Are they going to have 3 fish, 5 fish, 6 fish? They left it alone, left it at 5. Makes me happy.
Yeah, I think that they've done that last few years. They've had a chance to change it, and they left it. And I think that's why it's one of their most successful series. And I think the championship's still a no fee. I'm pretty sure. So I think they're wise and leaving that the way it is. And that's out of all the series, I'll give them credit. Out of Bass and Major League, I think Toyota's got the most bang for your buck.
Oh yes.
Either boater or co-angler, I'd say that.
Yeah, if any of you guys fish the Toyota series or whatever series you fish, let us know your thoughts on some of these rule changes. It affects, I mean, most of the ones we spoke about already don't affect any of us, but because we're not an elite or a Bass Pro Tour guy.
Yep.
But so the big shocker to me was when they decided to make the size or quantity down for co-anglers 3 fish in the BFL.
Yeah.
Now I don't understand that.
No, that's going to bunch up the field big time, I think.
Is it to a, are they trying to, they're forward facing sonar, so it'll give us a better chance, fishing behind them? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it was kind of, they didn't, it sounded like it was kind of a cop out. They didn't want to change anything with the sonar. And I think I'd rather it be 5. If it's me and they come to me and say, hey, 3 or 5, I say 5.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
But then there's times when you have 3 fish in the boat and you got 3 good fish, be like, man, I know I'm going to miss a check because I don't have my 5th fish. But
yeah,
hey,
that's true.
I don't know. I prefer 5 fish. Whether I'm fishing behind somebody, what's really, if you're fishing behind someone like Gerald Swindle fishing docks, what's the difference between doing that and fishing behind somebody with a forward facing sonar?
Yep.
You don't have a great shot at either of them.
No.
At least
I fish by Swindle. He's a vacuum, so I did catch a couple behind him. So,
but at least with the forward facing sonar, you're going to be around fish.
Yeah, and I've well, at first I was just bumbuzzled behind them. They're fishing 180 feet of water and doing this like trolling motor at 9, and I'm like, but I got to where I mean, I'm not catching huge limits, but I am getting bites behind them. So, yeah. But there are a few techniques you can get bit behind them, and just you got to stick with it.
Yeah, if you're fishing the BFL series as a co-angler, you catch 1 fish a tournament, you're pretty much going to the regional.
Yep. Oh yeah, I had some older guys that's fished BFL since it was like Redman in the 90s, and they all told me that, and it's spot on true. I've even had a 0 or 2 and still made it. So
I did last year because of my boat accident on 2-day.
Yep.
I finished 45th in points.
Yep. Well, I did that in Music City last year. I think I was 22nd, and something happened. I couldn't remember. I couldn't get out of work or something. Missed the super tournament and finished 44th, missing the super tournament.
Yep.
And it was a tough super tournament, so I think I got lucky.
Yeah.
But I still got called, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Surprise. Oh, that's another thing. If you read there, next year they're going to 2 divisions in each regional. And I think, was it top 65? Instead of top 45, they're going to top 65.
Something like that.
So basically, you could sign up and pay for 5 tournaments, fish, was it 2 or 3? I think it's 3, 2 or 3 tournaments, and still make it. But yeah, 2 divisions and top 65 in points. That's, I don't know. I'm up in the air about that one yet.
Yeah, I mean, still, if you're in New York, you still got to drive to James River.
Yep. And I think another change, I think I remember. Let me read it, make sure I don't get this wrong.
I believe the Shenandoah division finishes that in the regular series. I thought I saw that they're fishing the James River.
Yep. I think you can actually choose. Used to, you'd have to, if you qualify for regional, you couldn't fish the wild card. Well, now I think they give you a choice. But let me make sure and see how they explain. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes.
I'm trying to figure out how they're going to do the payouts because they doubled the amount of regionals.
Yep. And you still got to pay to get in the regionals, which I don't really agree with. But it is what it is.
But the All-American's free though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless they've changed it. Yeah, it's in here somewhere. I remember
Yeah.
somebody talking about it.
Yeah. All right. So that's pretty much it for the rules. And
Yep.
changes. A lot of speculation, which is always good for TV.
Yep. Well, one good thing is the BFL entry fees are still the same: $110 for the co-anglers, $220 for the boaters, except for the super tournaments, which is $330 for the boaters and $165 for the co-anglers.
Right.
So that stayed the same. So I'll give them credit on that. At least they didn't go up.
Yeah. Now, why wouldn't they have like a New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan, or a Northeast and then a Michigan? You know, they could drive to Ohio, fish the Ohio River.
Yeah, that's
for
true.
the regional. But if you're in New York, you got an 8-hour trip regardless. You're doing that twice for the Potomac and once for the regional.
Yep. Yeah, here it is about All American, no entry fees. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I thought they had no entry fee. So who do you think had the brassiest bald rule of all? And what
I
do you
think the NPFL outlawing the forward facing sonar. I'd say just off my head.
I'd like to agree with you, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's one that all the anglers wanted until it came out.
Yep. I was on the fence on them. That's a close number 2. I know where you're going.
Yes. The no entry fee for the elites.
Yep.
They've been wanting it for years.
Yep.
Okay. They got it. Now the payout.
It's a shell game.
Yeah.
But it's funny because they kind of make it like, oh, this is like brand new. Oh, wait a minute. The Bass Pro Tour started that way, so it's not quite not quite new in your idea. But I will give you credit; you are trying it. So half and half.
But I agree. I mean, you said earlier, before the show, they should have. Your opinion is they should have polled the anglers.
Yeah, I mean the guys that's actually in the league. I mean they should have had it because they had some big meeting, I think in New York or between the events or after events, and they should have. Hey, we're thinking about this. What's your opinion? Or send an email. Say, hey, we're thinking about this. What's your thoughts and opinion? And give them options. So I think they should have had a little more angler feedback, in my opinion. But
I think they all agree with the no entry fee. I just think it's the payout situation they don't like.
Yeah. Well, I think half the field does and half the field don't seem like they're kind of split down the middle. So
yeah, if I'm sitting there borderline, I'm like, phew.
Yep. Or you're paying entry fees out of your own pocket. Yeah, I can see where yet. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting.
It is. I mean, it's not going to affect my sleep one way or another, whether I eat or not. So
yeah. Other guys and travel, yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, let's talk about this open series.
Yep.
For a second. What are they gonna do? If they have like a the qualifying 4 tournaments or 3 tournaments. California, Washington, and Nevada.
Brutal. That's brutal.
It's waters that probably 90% of the anglers never fished.
But I do give them, how we say, I will knock them on one thing. You know how last year on the Opens, I know a few, they was like 40, 50 co-anglers short.
Yeah.
And they just like let the boaters go. And it's like, I think some of them had the YOLO sticks and the, GoPros, but we know how kind of fickle they are. So,
yeah.
I
mean, and BFL said no boater on boater action.
Yep.
which I agree with. I totally
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah,
Now,
because it kills them on points. I mean, you're only getting a half a day, in front of the boat. You're handicapped. So
now does that mean they're sending them out alone,
I don't think so.
or they're just not going to let you fish?
I think that's what it. But I've been linked as a co-angler twice. One time my boater got COVID, which he called me from emergency room like at 4 a.m, which I understand. But I called tournament director, hey, my dude's sick. He's in the emergency room. Well, we'll see if we can squeeze you in. Of course, no call, no nothing, which happens. Second time I had it happen, guy was supposed to be sick, and I don't know if he was or not, but I got left out. But I was linked both times, so.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
I know.
Guy catches COVID.
Yep.
What are you gonna do? Guy has diarrhea in the morning.
Yeah, I mean things happen, but
hey, I have one friend who he's at nationals right now. I won't mention any names. He's from New York. Good friend of mine, and almost every tournament he gets the runs.
the bubble guts. That's what we say down south.
Yep.
Happens.
He saw me walking up with my my suitcase with the rollers on it, with my tackle in it. He's called me Rolly.
I got 2 words for him. Dude wipes. That's it.
Yes, but no, I don't know. Where do you think it's going, though? I mean, you see the restrictions on the graph sizes in one league and transducers all over, and I don't know where it's going to lead, where it's leading to,
or the future. What with the forward facing. I mean, I keep hearing rumors about what's coming out and the further advancements. So I think the limit on the screens and all that was kind of a cop out, but my opinion, in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think. I mean, giving the people a choice where the NPFL's got none, and the other leagues got some. I think that's a good mix, but I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? We'll watch it either way.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, us being fishermen, we're gonna watch it anyway. I mean, we'll bounce back and forth, and we'll see what happens.
So I know we're both up in the air on what we're doing. I'm pretty much set. I think I'm going to do the Toyota Series this year. I'd really love to do the Opens because there's water I haven't fished.
Yep.
But
and Bass runs a good Open. The guys that run the Opens do an outstanding job. So ass off to them. I fished Opens, but kind of where I'm at. I mean, as of right now, if you had to say, hey, you got to decide where you going, what you're doing. I got a charity tournament coming up later in the month, one of my buddies. But next year, to tell you the truth, I think I'm going kayak fishing. I fell in love. I mean, I got that kayak and I love it. I mean, the payout, the entry fee versus payouts is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm going to do the Hobie BOS series, but they do have, Bass, USA Bassin has a league, and there's a couple, and Bass has a kayak league. So I might do. And my Burke's really getting pretty busy. So I'm going to be kind of limited because I'm still kind of growing and learning. So but I think I'm going to do a few kayak. I mean, I might squeeze in a Toyota or a Bass, but as of right now, they had pinned me down and asked where I'm doing kayaks next year.
All right. Yeah, if pin me down, I'm probably doing the Toyotas. It's only 4 tournaments, 3 tournaments, 4 tournaments.
3. Yeah, 3. And then you got a chance to. I do like the Toyotas and everything. I think they did last year. Worked out good is the wild card where you fish 3 in your division and you fish some extras and they kind of combine your score. I think that was pretty good.
Yeah. I just think for my buck, bang for your buck and the boater side, or co-angler side, traditional format, 5 fish I really like.
And you get 2 days. You get 2 days regardless.
Guaranteed 2 days to fish. So, for me and my family can go.
Yep.
Because 2 of the 3 tournaments are in the summer.
Yep.
My daughter's off of school. My wife, she can bake some cookies, and we'll do an Airbnb with some friends and try to get Rob and Miss D up. And
yeah, that Airbnb with your friends that's the way to go. I mean, compared to hotels, it's the way to go. Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's the best option.
Yep. And I'd like to invite Jeremy, but we just got to make sure he stays away from the oven. He can.
No bake.
He can cook. And Robert Gibson, I met him doing the Bass Open on Oneida.
Yeah,
you put him on a grill. You can put him on an outside grill. You're not going home hungry.
No, he's the barbecue master, and he's actually moved back to Tennessee. I stayed at his place when we was going to do the Cherokee BFL, so he's kind of back central with us, kind of middle of the country. And actually, I'm fishing with him at a tournament right on Thanksgiving. So yeah, great guy.
Yes. Yep.
Does a lot for veterans. Just super. Assaulted earth people. I'll tell him. I'll give him credit.
Yeah. But no, I don't. I think that's about it. I mean, nothing really outrageous.
No.
Some shocking things.
Yeah.
Like I said, the most shocking to me was the no entry fee, low payout.
Yep.
You got to cut the money somewhere, though.
Well, I think at least they didn't do the status quo, and they're trying a little bit. I don't think it's all going to work, but I think I will give them credit. They're trying some different stuff, and because it's I think since COVID, you see the fishing numbers kind of going down. So I think they're trying to maybe reach some more fans or audience. So at least they're trying. I give them credit there. Some stuff I don't agree with, but at least they're trying. Stir it up a little bit, I guess I'd say. Change directions or whatever you want to call it.
The one thing is the fish don't care who you are or how good you are.
Or how old you are.
Yeah. Or gender.
Yep.
Which was actually on our ballot.
Yep. Technically.
And we all have the same rules to play by.
Yep.
There are some people who use the gray line. Some people it's just black and white.
Yep.
But whatever it is, just go out and have fun.
Exactly. Yeah. And plenty of water and plenty of opportunities out there. It's I said I've fished for pretty much every year since 2017, and I've met some friends, lifelong friends, and so it's been a blast, and I continue to go on one way or another. I'm gonna fish something somewhere, even if it's cane pole and a bobber. I'm gonna fish somewhere.
It's funny. I was I was in my garage tonight. You got two cane poles sitting up there.
There you go.
There we go. Anything else, buddy?
No, I think we went over everything, and like I said, we'll kind of maybe have a review middle of the season or something next year, and kind of see how it's going, and kind of see what worked, what didn't work. So it's going to be interesting, and we'll be watching either way. Me and you'll be watching both, and so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, hey, y'all take care. Have a good evening. Be safe. And tomorrow we have the LBAA on to talk about 2024 and 2025 upcoming events.
Yep. And shout out to our buddy James Minold. Hey, good luck at Wheeler, buddy. We'll be tuning in, cheering you on. Yep. And Javon, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. You're getting better and better, man. We're proud of you, and you just keep on doing what you're doing.
And let's not forget our buddy Mike Mueller and Kyle Cordiana.
Yep.
Both former guests. Both Angler of the Years.
Yep, doing good. So maybe we gave him a little bit of luck, hopefully.
Yep. All right. Anything else from you, buddy?
No, just appreciate everybody tuning in, and we got some great guests. We got one of my favorite guests coming up next Tuesday, so we'll be announcing something on that in the
Oh, yeah.
future. So, and
All right.
but like I said again, appreciate everybody and all the new viewers we've had all over the last few nights, and we appreciate you guys. Y'all tune in, and if y'all got any show requests or think we should do a show on something, just let us know. Drop us a line. You can email us or drop us a line here on Facebook. We got a Co-Anglers Facebook page, so got something you want to see or talk about? Hey, let us know.
All right. Sounds good, buddy. Everybody take care.
Peace. It's kind of weird when it drops off. It don't automatically put you on the screen.